Now to Decision 2026 and some good news for Connecticut on the budget front. The state continues to pay off pension debt.
That's partly because of massive surpluses each year. Now some candidates for governor say it's time to use those surpluses for other things.
NBC Connecticut political reporter Mike Savino joining us live in studio. The state is in a position to do that. Some people believe, other people say hold your horses.
Yeah, and that's the case that some candidates are hoping voters will buy into, that maybe it's time to do something different, especially since we're talking about surpluses that are surpassing $2 billion in some years. But other candidates on the campaign trail, including the governor, say it's just too early to change course.
In 2017, we were in a fiscal crisis. I think we have gotten out of that crisis.
Connecticut's state employee retirement fund is now 60% funded, up from just 30% roughly a decade ago. That's thanks to stronger than expected performances on the state's investments and billions of additional dollars available thanks to massive surpluses. That's freed up $850 million within the state budget no longer needed for pension payments. Governor Ned Lamont says that's partly because of fiscal guardrails put into place in 2017, including a limit on borrowing, a cap on spending tied to inflation, with a separate cap that prevents spending more than 98.5% of available revenue, and lastly, the volatility cap, a limit on how much the state can budget from high-risk revenue streams like income tax on investments.
Because we spent 40 years putting everything on the credit card due to old-fashioned politicians that said buy now, pay later. That got us into the pickle we are. We're not going to let that happen again.
Governor Ned Lamont says it's not time to change course, but Democratic challenger Josh Elliott is worried about things like a possible end to health care subsidies. And the number one goal of our state should be keeping working families whole. Republican Aaron Stewart says the surpluses show people are overtaxed. And we can cut taxes and make investments. We just need a governor who can walk and chew gum at the same time. Meanwhile, State Senator Ryan Fazio says we can keep the guardrails and lower taxes through spending cuts and tax reforms,
which I think is necessary to deliver economic growth, income growth, and prosperity for regular everyday workers and families in the state.
Now, the state also funds a separate retirement system for local teachers, and we're seeing similar success there. That pension fund is now 63% funded. That's up from a low of 51% just back in 2020. Live from the studio, Mike Savino, NBC Connecticut News.
Mike, thank you.